Are you ready to let someone else in on your brand? If you are, how do you communicate it with them so that they understand what you're about and they can confidently implement things in a cohesive, consistent way? Hello and welcome to Brand Your Passion, the show that helps you turn the thing you love the most into something that people know and love you for. I'm your host, Holly Arnett, the brand coach for creatives, and I'm on a mission to make the world a more creative place, one brand at a time. If you're ready to get more eyes on your work, more dollars in your pocket, and more creativity in your life, you're in the right place. Welcome. Let's brand your passion. Today, let's talk about how you can communicate your brand to your contractors or employees or collaborators to keep things consistent. These people could be people like graphic designers, copywriters, assistants, printers, brands, collaborators, social media managers, PR consultants, managers, or event runners. These are all people who might need to know about your brand strategy, your brand identity, how you apply your brand, all the information that they need to know to be able to either create things for you or create things with you or help you to create the things you're creating. So there are a bunch of things that you might need to communicate depending on who you're working with and what they're doing and what they need. So let's talk about some of those things. When it comes to your brand strategy, they're probably going to need to know what you do, your vision, your mission, your values, your goals, who your audience are, your brand voice and tone, messaging guidelines or information, your visibility, engagement and retention strategies, and your guidelines on collaborations. These are things that especially people like copywriters will need to know, your assistants might need to know, designers who are creating brand identity or brand assets will definitely need to know so that they can create things in line with these things. Your social media manager will definitely need to know this information to create things that are in line. A PR consultant would need to know that so that they can create opportunities or help you to get talks or writing engagements or interviews that are aligned and that can send the right message. That's what people might and could and probably should need to know about your brand strategy. And then when it comes to your brand identity, they might also need to know information about your logos, your colors, your fonts, your imagery guidelines, your illustration, your typography guidelines, all of the parts of your visual identity. So how do you communicate this? Well, when it comes to your brand strategy, they're going to need just straight up information about what those things are, like what is your vision, what is your mission, what are your values. They might also need diagrams or frameworks, or that's what you can provide to show how things work together or what your timelines are for your goals or what a customer journey looks like. So you might have some diagrams or frameworks. You might also have swipe files. These are snippets of text or information that people can just swipe and use. So that could be your email sign-offs or emails about rejecting an opportunity, for example. You can have a swipe file set up that they can just take and use. Swipe files for your bio, for your about page, for your Instagram or social media bios. These are swipe files that you can have set up ready so that they can take and use wherever they need to. You can also have word banks. Something I really highly recommend for all brand strategy is having a word bank that people can pull from and know that whatever they're writing and using these words within is going to be on brand. That might be your go-to words and phrases that they can use that make things sound like you, or a list of words and phrases that are tied into your overall brand message or your brand archetype or your brand personality that also make things sound like you and fit into the whole concept of your brand. So for example, Maker and Moxie has a whole list of word banks about creativity, about making magic, all those kinds of things. About Moxie, we have a lot of swipe files and word banks that can be used for that. And then also you might just have a list of do's and don'ts. So do say this thing, Don't say these words. Do attract these types of people. Don't post this on Instagram. Just guidelines, rules that people can follow to be able to create things that are on brand and aligned and consistent with you. When it comes to your brand identity guidelines, there are a bunch of ways you can show this too. You can obviously show what to use. So these are the logos you use. These are the typefaces that we have and the different weights of those typefaces, what's used for different headings, all of those things. You can also show how to use it. So this is how you apply our logo. This is how you apply our colors. This is how you create the gradients that we use, etc. Then you can also, which is very important, show how not to use certain parts of your branding. So this is how not to use the logo. Don't stretch it, don't warp it, don't change the colors, don't change the font. These are don'ts, or how not to use aspects of our brand identity. Obviously, showing examples is really useful, showing this is what a good use of our logo looks like. This is how our colors are applied really well. This is what our typefaces look like in action, as headings, as body copy, etc. It's especially useful to show these in situ. For example, show a mock-up of your Instagram profile, or show what your website looks like, or show what your logo looks like on a piece of apparel like a t-shirt or a hat. That can just show people this is what it looks like in action, done really well in real life situations. Then you can also provide templates. Templates are the holy grail of keeping things consistent when it comes to your brand identity. Use some templates, create some templates for things like social media graphics, documents, slide decks, emails even. Lots of things you can create templates for. So create those, and then it's really easy for someone like a graphic designer or social media manager or whoever to just jump in and create a new version, add the right text, swap out a photo, boom, done. And you know that it's going to be on brand and in line and beautiful. The last thing that you might want to do for all of these things, for your brand identity, for your brand strategy, for any other aspects of your brand, is to create SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, which is just basically how to do things. So it's just a list of steps that shows somebody how to do something in the right way that you want it to be done, or you need it to be done in order to be on brand, have come across in the right voice, be done in the right way that feels right for your brand. So for example, you might have an SOP for how to set up a template in Canva, or how to create a new opt-in form on your website, or how to reply to a customer service inquiry. These are all step-by-step instructions for how to do something that you could give to a manager or an assistant or anybody who's going to help you to be able to make sure they're doing things in the right way that you need them to be done. So think about whether there are standard operating procedures that could be useful when it comes to your brand. So that's it. When it comes to creating a consistent brand, that it doesn't matter who touches it, who uses it, it's all going to stay cohesive and consistent. The keys are just communicating and having really clear instructions, guidelines, information about every single aspect of your brand. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You could have this in a Word document, in a part of your Notion workspace. You could have it as a PDF document. You could have a website that has all this information. Whatever is going to work for you and make it really easy for you to communicate this stuff, that's how you can make it happen. So I hope this has been really helpful to understand who it could be useful for you to share this information with, what it is that you need to communicate, and how to communicate that. What different things can you use to communicate this information to make things consistent when it comes to your brand. As always, if you have any questions about this process, or you want to share with me a win about how you use this information and use this process in your own business, please let me know. You can DM me on Instagram or Twitter, or tweet me or comment on an Instagram post, or even send me an email. I would love to hear from you, and all of that information is in the show notes. So don't hesitate to reach out. I can't wait to hear how it goes when you hire your first contractor, or start working with your first collaborator, or start contracting your first assistant. So let me know how you go, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye! Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Brand Your Passion and choosing to spend time with me learning all about branding, business, and all things creativity. You can find more episodes just like this one at makerandmoxie.com/podcast. If you like this one, you can tap that subscribe or follow button so that you're notified about each and every new episode. And if you've got a spare second, please leave a review on iTunes or wherever it is that you're listening to this podcast, because I would absolutely 100% love to hear from you. If there were some helpful goodies in this episode for you, it would mean the world to me as well if you could screenshot that podcast player right now, hop on over to Instagram or Twitter, and tag us at Maker and Moxie. By subscribing, reviewing, and sharing, you're helping reach more creators just like you, so that together we can make the world a more creative place, one brand at a time. We can't achieve this mission without you, so your support means the absolute world. I will talk to you in the next episode, but until then, keep creating.